Welcome back, and let's continue. We have talked about intelligence, and we didn't come to a conclusion that which character is the intelligence character because all of them are brain functions. We know that getting good grades doesn't mean you are intelligent, but what character makes people do better in schools? In the traditional theory, this character is shield. Shield people are driven to pursue not material but metaphysics, they have the interest they like to read. In ancient China, knowledge means literature, politics, and philosophy, legislation, and history. That means no engineering, no something related to do, all theory study, no math, right? Those are what shield people good at. Shield people are good at learning fortune tell too, because their thinking is divergent and graphic, which made them good at understanding abstract concepts. And the disadvantage of this way of thinking is when doing something boring, such as a calculation, they often think something else. And that is why shield was a certain symbol for high education, but only in the history of China, not now. According to my experience, in modern day education, people who have the overall strong life code have the higher chance to get a good grade. And I'll show you why. Good grade in school, which doesn't mean you are smarter, right? Fortune telling is like astrology in the West. Many people are familiar with some terms, some word they heard about. One of them is the hardness of life. People say somebody have a hard life and somebody have a not so hard life or a soft life, I guess. By calling someone a hard life, we mean he is a diehard, long and tenacious. Allegedly, this type of person bring bad luck to people close to them, just like in the movie. Heroes are hard to kill, but bad things often happen to their relatives. Technically, the hardness of fortune refer to the overall strength of life code. So let's review what is strengthening character and what is weakening life character. The overall strength of life code means the strength of the self code. For example, if my self code is wood, and wood is much stronger than other element among the eight life codes because one life code is eight numbers. If a wood is much stronger, if my self code is wood and wood is much stronger than other element, then we can say that we have an overall strong life code. And character-wise, strength and shield are enhancing character, means they empower the self code. Talent, money, and authority are weakening characters. Having a lot of those means you have an overall weak life code. According to the basic rule of elements overcome and grow, such as wood overcomes earth, earth overcomes water, something like that. You can go back and check. And wood grows fire, fire grows earth, earth grows metal, metal grows water, water grows earth. If two codes have the same elemental property, then the element must be the strongest among the two, which is what is strength is about. For example, one code is wood and the other code is wood. Then what is the strongest element within these two codes? Of course, wood, right? Uh, an element getting grow by another also have a power up. That's what a shield is about. Let's say one wood and one water. The wood will have a power up because water would support it. An element growing another will lose some of its power because it's being discharged. That is why talent is a weakening character. Let's say water grows earth and water grows wood, and the water will lose some of its power because some of its power is used to grow the wood. An element getting overcome by another will lose the most of its power. Will lose more power because no, an element overcoming another will lose more of its power because it is getting consumed. Let's say wood overcomes earth, But after overcoming the earth, wood will lose some of its power, which is why money is a weakening character. An element is being overcome by another will lose the most power, because it is being beat up, which is authority. If one element is being overcome by another, that element is the weakest. So take into consider the rule that same-sex reaction is stronger than the different-sex reaction. This is the power rank of the character. Comrade, pirate, owl, uh, guardian. We have comrade over pirate because comrade and pirate are enhancing character, and comrade is the same sex. Same sex is stronger than different sex. And rebel is more than gourmet because rebel and gourmet are the weakening character. So rebel not weaken you so much as gourmet because gourmet is the same sex reaction. It discharges you harder, and so is money and authority. So it's strength, shield, talent, money, authority. From comrade to guardian are enhancing characters, and from here to here, from rebel to slaughter are the awakening characters. So we have learned that the reality of a character is how you see yourself. To be specific, it is the relation between your ego and other you. This is, I don't know how many times I repeat that, because that's the essence of what my presentation. The relation between strength and the ego is they are the same, because if the ego is wood, strength is a wood. They are the same. Therefore, all features of strength, such as means persistent, stubborn, competitive, subjective, independent, high self-esteem, always argue, those are all phenomena, can be summed up to one fundamental word, ego, because of ego caused this. Ego is not selfish, because selfish means consciously not willing to help. But the deeper we look, the closer ego and selfish becomes. So strength people have strong self-awareness, stronger self-awareness than other people. They actually have to make more effort to be unselfish because they are less sensitive to feel what other people feel. One thing we learn from fortune telling is the two sides of every character. All the characters have can serve as good or bad. So there is so people's property we can't say is good or bad. It's depend on the condition. So when you hear people say be yourself or grow inner strength, that's enhance your strength. You know that is not absolutely good. Although lots of people think be yourself is unconditionally good. No matter what, be yourself is better than not be yourself, which is wrong, right? On the other hand, even you believe that nothing is good about selfishness, you have to admit something only strong people can do. Because strength character would make people strong, and only strong people can do, right? So according to fortune telling, a person's inner strength, a person's hardness of life code is measured by the level of selfishness. It doesn't mean the weaker you are, the more willing to help you become, but the weaker you are, the weaker your overall life code is, the more likely you are being influenced by other people. When two people are working together, you can calculate the strength of their life codes. You will find the weak one always follow the stronger person because the strong person is more insistent in his way. That means the stronger your overall life code is, the more stubborn you are, the more insistent you are. There is a BBC documentary, What Makes Us Clever, a Horizon Guide to Intelligence, talk about intelligence. The show didn't answer the question in the title. It didn't say exactly what is intelligence, right? Although it has that in the title, because they too agree that intelligence is a difficult definition. You might good at something, but it doesn't predict you can do good in other areas. But it also mentioned the Stanford marshmallow experiment. Children was offered two choices between one marshmallow provided immediately or two marshmallows if he or she wait until the experimenter returned. So it's just like they have children in the room and talk to the children. If I can give you a marshmallow. If you eat it, then you eat it. If you don't eat it and wait until I come back, then I will give you two marshmallows. The experiment concluded being able to resist the smaller award and waiting for the bigger one at the age of 4 could predict academic success and a happier adult life. And I can explain that. Inner strength is your determination as well as self control. So, the more your ego is in control of your overall direction, the more your self code is in control of your overall life code, the more you can push yourself to achieve something you consciously want. This and that is why overall strong people are more likely to have a good grade. Uh, that's just a number. Not all of them have good grade, but they are more likely to have a good grade. Because when fewer people are actually in love with learning, self-control make the difference. So that is the reason strong people are more likely to have good grade because they have more self-control. And more self-control make people have good grade because everybody hate schools. And hating schools, the self-control makes the difference. The more determined people can make the success. In the past, people believed that life code was the harder the better. Because ancient China was a shark tank, you need to work really hard to be alive. I mean, there's a lot of wars in China. When a war happened, usually 90% of people will die. So you need to be tenacious to stay alive, right? But nowadays, you'll find lots of successful people are very weak, such as Bill Gates. Weak, 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 weak. And he has a ruthless owl. And weak because Slaughter is the most powerful weakening character. And Bill Clinton, the two Bills. All of Bill Clinton's character are weakening character. He has no strengthening character at all. He has no shield, no strength. Now we know that life code is not the stronger the better, because we can see people like this. All characters have their strong suit. Strength, people are good at survivals, they are strong by themselves. Shield, people are good at learning and researching in the academic facilities. Talent, people are good at presentations. Money, people are good at games and business. Authority is the weakest character, but they are good at conflict. Because judge represents politics, judge people are good at politics. Slaughter, people are good at wars. So it seems the stronger you are on yourself. And the weaker you are, the more powerful you are with people. So in the previous text, I mentioned that doing business is about persistent. It's about to keep doing. Money is not a strong character, therefore money people they don't have the most determinations. Money people are persistent not because they try harder, not because they have more inner strength. They like to do just like hungry people like to eat. They are driven by material desire, right? The character that brings the most willpower is actually strength. It empowers the life code the most. Yet it is on the opposite of money, like we learned. The reason is simple. The reason is most business is about helping others, but strength is a mentality of contending, is a revelry, is a competing, is about me. A strong life code is approximately equal to strong personality. Strength people like to argue, but they don't listen. They are the type of people who say that I'm not wrong, the word is wrong. So because they are too ego, right? Strength people usually have their own theories, but you'll find that their theories are too subjective for other people to accept. There is an event on Twitter. Kanye West is the kind of guy that let me show you some of the funny tweets and proposing crazy people and crazy things people won't surprise if Kanye West did. Kanye West is the type of guy who dial the wrong number and tell the person who answered they answered the wrong number. Kanye West is a type of guy that would go to a motivational speech and tell the kids that you will never be like me. Kanye West is the kind of guy that sneeze and say, bless me, thank me, I'm welcome. Because if we sneeze, people around will say, bless you, and we'll say, thank you, you're welcome, right? Kanye West is the type of guy that will go to a funeral and wonder why everyone is sad because he is still alive. Who is Kanye West? Kanye West is an American singer, songwriter, and record producer, and the husband of Kim Kardashian. I don't know that what he did lead to such a public image. Actually, I do because I then go online and search for him. When I type Kanye West in YouTube, YouTube automatically fill up the sentence. Kanye West compared himself with Jesus. So that's a pretty big ego, right? Obviously, he is a celebrity most known for being full of himself, and this personality feature is shown very, very clearly in his life code. Like this, right? Out of his 5 known characters, 4 are strength. He has pirate, pirate, comrade, comrade. His pirates has root, his comrade has root, and taken the command. So he is very 3 is fire, 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 fire. So he is very ego. On the opposite of money, shield and strength are both self-enhancing characters. So they are both strengthening characters. In another word, they would make people focus more on themselves. And if you see things only in your own perspective, you will find lots of questions are so difficult. So let's get back to chasing women because money would make you easier to chase women, right? So let's compare money with strengthening character. If you want to prove your value, that's a lot of men do. If they want to get a girl, they want to prove their value to the girl. I am the best option you have, right? You're on the wrong path because it is impossible to prove that you are the best option for her than billions of other men on earth, right? If you want to prove your value, you can never prove it because there are so many other men there, right? You can prove that you are better than him, but you cannot prove you're better than those people. You can't prove it to anybody, including yourself. So a question like, how can I do? What can I do to win her? What can I do to impress her? Will only confuse you. Even you can figure this question out, you are building up pressure because you have to keep the impression in the future, and the impression is well designed. That is why real womanizers, that's money people, usually don't take themselves too seriously. And the same go with doing business. If what you think is, what can I do to defeat other people and win their money? You're wrong. You'll have a hard time because nobody is a fool, and even the fool knows to keep their wallet closed and not giving any money to you, right? But if you change your point of view, focus on how can I fulfill other people's need, then everything is easy. Doing business is not about personal struggle, but because out of all business, one thing in common is you have to please other people. In my experience, there is actually lots of shield or strength people like to be self-employed. That is because they're rich in spirit and they want to have more time for themselves. Obviously, that is wrong idea because business means busy. Self-employed people have to work harder and longer than employees because they are not doing it right. They are trying to have more time by self-employed because they are not doing it right. Most of them are not doing well. But you can make a success out of a strong life if you avoid things you are not good at, such as cooperation, and use the advantage of your hard life, such as determination of the strength, which is why strength people they either have no achievement or big achievement. So that's one of no says. If a person has all the strength, lots of strength, these kind of people either have no achievement or big achievement. Big achievement means they have the biggest determination. No achievement means because they are too independent. They don't listen to anybody. Sometimes they just do what they do, and that means no achievement, right? Stubborn people usually choose the hard way to go, but sometimes they can bang their head on the wall and break the way through. And let's see example. Stephen Hawking is 888, so comrade, comrade, comrade. And these three code, they will merge and become metal. So all of Stephen Hawking's frame-like code are metal, and all his basal codes would merge and become metal. So his life code is not just overall strong, but extremely strong, which means he is an extremely tenacious and competitive person. Extremely strong person usually lack of people skill because they are all of themselves. But I don't think Stephen Hawking need any people skill. He just sit in his chair and people will listen to him. He doesn't need to prove to people that yeah, doesn't have to let people like him, because people just like him, like a person who sit on the chairs, because nobody is like that. And Al Pacino is born at this time, and this is his life code. Why Al Pacino is so short? The reason is he has too much earth in his life code. Earth will make people short, that's a note. And why is he so successful? It shows in his life code. He has the nerve of steels. Comrade, comrade, comrade means he's very, very determined inside of him, because this is basal code. And there are actually a lot of strong people among actors, probably because compared to other business, acting is more personal. When I see movies, I don't see how difficult to be an actor. But the life code of Al Pacino shows it must be very tough to become an actor, to be an actor. Actually, I always think Al Pacino is and Kevin Spacey is very same. The quality is very same. And if you, unfortunately, I cannot write anything here. I can show you. I remember what Kevin Spacey's life code is. Kevin Spacey also have 5 as self code. And like Al Pacino has gourmet gourmet here and comrade 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 here, Kevin Spacey have comrade 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 here and gourmet gourmet here. So indeed, they are very similar in their life code. You can prove it by calculating yourself. Let me show you some other example that people who have extremely strong life code. One thing in common with them is they are all self-made people, self-made person. They are all well known as determined, self-esteemed people, and they all succeeded by means of carry on, by means of persistent. Like Billy May, he has a lot of strength. Billy May, there is more than one Billy May. This Billy May is the Billy May who do television advertisement and has a heart attack and die in front of a camera. And Eva Peron, she is very, very strong too. And she is a wife of a president, best known for her determination. And Martina Navratilova, this is a tennis player. She is very, very strong too. And Luciano Moggi, this is an Italian football manager. And Otto, I don't know how to spell. This is a soldier. This is a, he is a German soldier during World War II. He is not a general, but he's good at, his own ability to survive, to accomplish his missions. And this person is still alive, Emma Watson, and she is very strong too, because 777 is in a line. He has 3 sevens in a line. And this is a Japanese name. This is a master of Go. Go is a chess game. It's a game. So he is a master not only in Japan, but the master of China and Korea. Very influential people, but he committed suicide after the atomic bomb, because the bomb, he looked directly to the bomb, and his eyes go blind after that. And so out of all strength and shield character, pirate is a sign for broken marriage for man. Um, so I will stop here because if I introduce you pirate and comrade uh, one by one, I think this episode would be over 45 minutes. And I'll do that next. I'll show you pirate by comparing it with gambler, and I'll show you pirate by comparing it with slaughter. And then we'll come to the section of comrade, and we'll finish introducing the strength character. So I'll see you next episode. Hopefully, you can remember some of the information in this episode.